Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of School of Money podcast. And School of Money is where we just teach you some basic things about finances. And we just talk about personal finance, talk about business finance, just so that Nigerians can become financially literate. We all know what the country is saying right now. So you need wisdom. You need wisdom to be able to scale through, not just maintain a lifestyle, but also, increase your income as we go. So we're going to be talking about assets and liabilities. Very important. And we're going to talk, first of all, let me ask a question. Of course, I'm here again with Favor, whose surname I cannot pronounce as usual.
Let's leave the surname out as you of us.
The first question I'm going to be asking you is what are assets and liabilities? And then, but the twist I want to bring into it is what are some things that Nigerians think are assets, but are actually liabilities? So start with the definition and then go to the next question, which is
So, in a layman's term, asset is what puts money into your pocket. Liability is what takes money out of your pocket. So, what do Nigerians think is assets, and what Nigerians think is non-assets? Now, you see, first of all, um, parents actually play an important role in the growing up of the child in terms of how they live as parents. Now, most of these stuff we did not learn it. Our parents could not teach us because they don't know about it.
yeah.
So they do not know the difference between assets, they don't know the difference between liability. That's why most of us grow up in families whereby our parents were struggling daily to meet our needs because they did not have
They themselves don't have that
they
knowledge.
don't have that knowledge. So what we think was our assets was not actually assets, what was killing the family's income. So one of it is having a car. Now Nigerians will tell you, if I have a car, I can use it for transportation and all that. It's not as easy as you are saying it. So another thing too is housing, having a house. No, one thing in Nigeria is once you don't have man,
I thought one of the first things they'll tell you is to invest in real estate that you need to own a house, that owning a house is an asset. So I mean, is that really true?
you see, that's another trick to it. You see, this housing stuff, it's tricky because house becomes an asset when you're renting it out. But if you want to do car renting an apartment out, it's not as easy as we also go.
What if you own a house and you're living in it?
That's a big liability. It's a big liability because only the asset person, you change up, you change like you pay for this, you pay for that. It's not
So a house you live in is a liability.
a liability.
A house you own and you live in is a liability. House you own and you're renting out, that is an asset.
But also, you need to also understand, also need to do feasibility study when it comes to real estate. Real estate is sweet, especially when you are trying to convince it to career.
Yeah.
But it's a business whereby you also need to understand how it
There are a lot
works.
of things in
There are a lot of things because there are some landlords that are already in debt in their own house.
Yeah.
They're already in debt in their own house because there are some things they really did not know about before going about real estate business. It's more than what these people are telling us on social
Media, yeah.
There's more to it. And if you say, okay, I want to become a landlord in Lagos, I want to become a landlord in any part of Nigeria, you need to first of all go to the grassroots of what it means to own a house in Nigeria.
Yeah. Because one of the things that, back to the definition of assets, asset is anything that generates money. So if that thing isn't generating money for you, it is definitely not an asset. Even if you own it for life, it's not an asset. I guess the next question is how can people start building assets? So what are some of the real examples that people that are not earning a lot of money, right? Let's say, for example, salary earner, right, can start. What are some of the things you can own as a small business owner or as a salary earner? Let's say, for example, you earn below 200K or below 100K. What are some of the things that you can start investing?
I think also you need a plan.
Yeah, okay.
First thing first, before you talk about building assets, you need a plan. What
Assets do I need?
First of all, why do I need the money? What am I aiming for? Okay, am I aiming for financial stability, or am I trying to add to lavish?
So me, I aim for freedom.
So there's going to no, everyone says the aim for freedom, but the attitude they put towards does not show the aim for freedom.
Yeah.
You understand? Is what you say, I want to be free, is another thing becoming, how will I say it now? You are becoming foolish about the spending or about how money comes. I want to be financially free. Okay, what steps are you taking on a daily basis to make sure you want to be financially free? It has to go with your habits. Because first of all, you need to know what assets are. It's beyond the definition. There's something you need to sit and ask yourself. First of all, are you an asset to yourself? Is the first
I think
question.
we should probably do a master class on this. Honestly,
This is a master class.
because this is not something that we can discuss within a 15 minutes podcast.
But let's summarize
Yeah.
those. So, because first question is, are you putting money into your own pockets? Is the first question. How are you bringing money to your own pockets? If you have found it, because you need to first of all self-develop.
Self development. Okay. Okay.
You get.
Fantastic.
So someone says, I was listening to what's his name? I remember his name. So he said something. He said, you need to ask yourself a question, and the question is, how do I improve myself? Like, how do I get better on a daily basis? He said, once you come to the
As a person.
as a person,
Yeah.
because you are first of all the asset. You the person.
Yes.
Let's leave other asset class like stock bonds. You are first of all an asset, because if you are well self-developed, just your name alone brings money.
Yes. Your name alone, what you have in your mind.
Brings money.
Yeah.
You get. So first of all, self-development first. That's the first asset you need. For instance, you are earning 50K and you are working in the company as a secretary. For instance, you ask yourself, okay, this company I'm working for, how do I become of value to the company?
So that I can go higher and higher.
Go higher and earn higher. That's the first question. Or
It's not to go and start looking for which stock can I start buying with my little 50 and earning. No.
next question is, I'm a security man, I'm a cleaner. How do I become of value to this company? What is this? Because most persons work in a company for 10 years, 15 years,
And they are in the same position.
the same position, because they don't even understand the core value of what the company is going for. Like, okay, what is this company? What was it built on?
What's it called? Oh my God.
Core value of what?
Oh my goodness. You are putting it on your head.
And how do I become of value to that purpose the company is trying to? Because company has goals on it on a yearly basis.
No, because these days we see people, a lot of people on social media talking about stocks, talking about crypto. And so there is this FOMO that I'm not investing in stocks. Meanwhile, you're earning 70K and your mind shouldn't be going to stocks.
Thank you. Your first way to call is, how do I become of assets to myself? That's the first. Because if you're an asset to yourself first, every other thing you want
Every other thing can follow after
to follow after that. Then you can talk of, okay, I want to invest in stock, I want to invest in real estate, I want to invest in, because yourself itself is not bringing money for itself.
So I think we posted a video on our social media a couple of weeks back. I think was it last week or 2 weeks ago. And this first person was talking about how being like investing in yourself is the only thing that inflation cannot touch. Like, you can invest in stocks, you can invest in crypto, and market conditions will change.
It's real.
And your 1 million can turn to 100K within 10 minutes. But when if you invest in it, when you have knowledge, let's say for example, you become a data analyst or you become a data scientist or you become a project manager by MZ paying for a course. No matter the economy, that cannot change. That knowledge cannot be taken from you.
That is it.
Honestly speaking, this has been a very, very interesting decision. Okay. Yeah, okay. I mean, go ahead. Share a few minutes.
If you check currently right now, if you go on LinkedIn, check for job roles currently right now in the country, especially in Nigeria, you find out that roles that are valuable are roles for top executive positions.
Yeah.
But why is it that does the company itself not have
Internally that they can
that they can operate? You not find out that it's now you don't understand that human beings, we are not focused, we are focused on the external and not on the internal.
internal. Yeah.
Because you can't tell me that your company is having a role that pays so much, even though
You cannot,
and there is nobody
internally that
internally they can push us.
because it's easier for the HR. It's easier for the HR to just say, You have a certification now. You have a qualification now. Let's upgrade you. Than going to go and interview 10, 20 other people outside.
So imagine a team of a company of about 5,000 staffs looking for an external somebody from outside that will come and fill the role of an head of operation,
Head of operations, or head of
regional
communication.
some regional managers and all that. When they are staff, why? Because staff refuse to do what?
They are
Self-develop.
they are investing in crypto. They are investing in stocks. They are investing in other. So I look like
Other side also, yeah, they did this thing to myself. The company you are is the first call. That's why I said you need to have a goal.
it starts with a goal.
It
Actually,
starts with a goal.
yeah. We need to do a masterclass on this. I think anyway, Shad, I mean, you all you need to do is keep following this YouTube channel, keep following this social media, follow us on our social media pages, and we're going to be updating you more because Full of Money is not just about the podcast. We're going to be having lots of masterclasses and webinars that, of course, you're going to pay for, right? But we're going to be giving you, but the podcast is free, right? We would just like you to subscribe to this channel, follow this page for more because our aim is to elevate your consciousness about money, elevate your consciousness about finances so that you can be richer and make better financial decisions. I remain Coach Atal, and I'll see you on the very next episode.